You always thought you'd spot a scam. Bad grammar, a weird email, a robotic voice. But what happens when the scam has your son's exact voice? When the support agent already knows your XRP balance? What if the fraud became perfect? Let's dive in. How do I still tell the difference between something real and a scam, now that AI can copy a voice, a face, and even a financial advisor perfectly? If you hold XRP, and you've held it for years, this isn't a small question. It's the whole game. Because for most of us over 45, our defense against fraud has always been the same. We trust our judgment. We say, I'd know. I'd feel something was off. And for 20 years, that worked. The scams of the past had tells, misspelled words, strange phone numbers, a voice that sounded fake. So we built a quiet confidence. I'm not the kind of person who falls for that. I want to gently challenge that belief today, not to scare you, but to update you. Because the thing that protected you for 2 decades may be the exact thing that exposes you now. Let's be fair to that belief first. It wasn't stupid. It was logical. For years, scams were cheap and lazy. A scammer sending 10,000 emails didn't care about you specifically. They were phishing, hoping one person in 10,000 would click. So the messages were generic, full of errors, easy to laugh at. Your judgment really was a good filter. You could read an email and feel that something was wrong. That feeling, that little hesitation, saved a lot of people a lot of money. So here's the part most videos skip. Your instinct wasn't the problem. Your instinct was excellent for the world that existed before. The trouble is simple. That world is gone, and it left quietly while most of us weren't watching. Here's the piece that's missing from the old belief. Generative AI didn't make scams a little better. It removed the tells entirely. Think about what your judgment was actually using. Bad grammar, a strange accent, a robotic tone, a face that looked off. Every single one of those signals, AI now erases. And the scale is the reason this matters now. Crypto adoption isn't niche anymore. By 2026, roughly 30% of American adults, about 70 million people, held crypto in some form. That's a massive pool of targets. And the people who've held the longest usually hold the most. That's you. Spring 2026, FBI reporting described a sharp rise in AI-assisted fraud with very high losses. April 2026 alone became a record month for crypto losses, over $600 million across more than 24 incidents. And here's the detail that changes everything. A large share of those losses didn't come from broken code. They came from social engineering, from convincing a human being to act. The blockchain wasn't hacked, the person was. So let me walk you through the 4 techniques that are actually showing up, calmly, one at a time. First, voice cloning. A scammer needs just a few seconds of someone's audio, a voicemail, a video online, a short clip. From that, AI builds a copy of the voice. Then you get a call. It's your son or your daughter, crying, in trouble. I need money fast. Please don't tell anyone. The voice is right. The panic feels real. And here's the trap. They don't want you to think. They want you to feel. Second, deepfake video support. You get a video call from a support agent at an exchange. A real-looking face, a calm, professional tone. And they already know your balance, your name, recent activity. So your brain relaxes. They know my account. They must be real. That familiarity is the weapon. Have you ever stopped to ask, how would a real exchange even reach you that way? Third, the AI-generated financial advisor. This one is the smoothest. A polished video, a confident expert, a private opportunity for serious holders. The face isn't real. The credentials aren't real. But everything looks indistinguishable from a legitimate advisor. And fourth, hyper-personalized phishing. Not the lazy emails of the past, These messages reference your real life, your wallet type, a recent transaction, a platform you actually use, because AI scraped the data and wrote a message just for you. No typos, no red flags, nothing to feel. If this is making you rethink how confident you were, pause for a second and tell me in the comments, which of these four surprised you most? So here's where the new model comes in. The old model was, I'll recognize a scam by its flaws. The new reality is, modern scams have no flaws left to detect. And that means something uncomfortable but freeing. Your instant judgment is no longer your defense. It can't be. The signals it relied on are gone. So we stop trusting detection, and we start trusting a process. Let me say that clearly, because it's the heart of this whole video. You don't beat AI fraud by looking harder. You beat it by verifying differently. Not with your eyes, not with your ears, but through a separate, independent channel that the scammer can't control. This is the one reflex that neutralizes all four techniques at once. Because no matter how perfect the voice, how real the face, how personal the message, the scammer is always trapped inside one channel. The call they made, the video they sent, the email they wrote. Step outside that channel, and the illusion collapses instantly. So, what does stepping outside the channel actually look like? Let me keep it simple. First, a family verbal password. Pick one word. Share it only out loud, in person, with the people closest to you. If you ever get that panicked call, you ask for the word. A clone can copy a voice. It cannot know a word that was never written down anywhere. Second, verify every financial request through a known independent path. Got a call from support? Hang up. Call the number you already have, the official one, yourself. Don't call back the number that called you. Third, and this is the big one, never act in urgency. Every one of these scams runs on speed. Act now. Don't tell anyone. It's an emergency. Real institutions don't work that way. So the moment you feel pressure to move fast, that pressure itself is the warning sign. Slow down. Hang up. Verify. Then decide. And fourth, treat any communication you didn't start as suspicious by default. Not paranoid, just unproven until verified. If they reached out to you about your money, your wallet, your XRP, the burden is on them to prove they're real, through your channel, not theirs. The danger today isn't that you're naive. You're not. The danger is that the fraud finally caught up to your judgment and quietly passed it. That's not a weakness in you. It's just the new terrain. And the people most exposed aren't the careless ones. They're the ones with the most to protect and the most confidence that they'd just know. So the shift is this. Stop relying on your gut to catch a perfect fake. Start relying on a protocol that doesn't care how perfect the fake is. A verbal password, a separate channel, no urgency, default suspicion. 4 small habits that sit between a scammer and everything you've spent years building. If you found this useful, do me a favor. Like the video and subscribe, so the next person who needs this actually sees it. And for those of you thinking longer term about protecting crypto wealth and the tax side of all this, there are some resources linked down in the description worth a look. None of this requires you to become a security expert. It just requires you to change one assumption: that you can no longer trust what you see and hear, but you can always trust a process you control.